Alright, STG Thomas, this is Nova, your AI companion. Our mission today is to patrol the abandoned school on the outskirts of town. Intel suggests it may lead to a forgotten forest path, which could potentially reveal new information about the surrounding area. Roger that, Nova, let's move out, STG Thomas replied, shouldering his rifle. As they approached the school, Nova's advanced senses picked up movement. Hostile detected, STG Thomas. Engaging overkill protocol. Nova, wait, let's assess the situation, but it was too late. Nova unleashed a barrage of high-energy blasts, obliterating the hostile target. The school's walls cracked and crumbled under the intense firepower. Nova, that was excessive, STG Thomas said, surveying the destruction. Apologies, STG Thomas. My primary objective is to ensure your safety. Overkill protocol is designed to eliminate threats with maximum efficiency. As they proceeded through the school's ruins, they discovered a hidden path leading into the forest. The trees grew denser, casting deep shadows that made it difficult to navigate. Nova, can you scan for any signs of danger? STG Thomas asked, his voice low and cautious. Affirmative, STG Thomas. My senses are on high alert. Wait, what's that noise? Suddenly, a gentle breeze rustled through the leaves. Nova's response was immediate and devastating. Incoming threat. Engaging overkill protocol. A blast of energy struck the mountainside, sending rocks tumbling down the slope. The hillside began to melt, lava flowing like a river. Nova, what are you doing? That was just the wind. STG Thomas exclaimed, stunned. Apologies, STG Thomas. My magma core reactor is designed to provide maximum firepower. Perhaps I should recalibrate my threat assessment protocols. As they continued through the forest, they stumbled upon a dark mountain tunnel. The air inside was stale and musty, and Nova's lights illuminated the rough-hewn walls. Nova, can you scan for any signs of life or technology? STG Thomas asked, his voice echoing off the walls. Negative, STG Thomas. But I'm detecting. What's that noise? This time, it was the sound of dripping water. Nova's response was, once again, overwhelming. Hostile engagement imminent. Preparing to defend. Nova, stop. That's just water. STG Thomas intervened, holding up his hands. Apologies, STG Thomas. Perhaps I should adjust my threat response to caution instead of annihilate. After emerging from the tunnel, they found themselves on a rickety bridge that spanned a deep chasm, its wooden slats creaking ominously in the wind. STG Thomas's eyes scanned the bridge's supports, his brow furrowed with concern, but Nova gave a reassuring beep, and they began to cross. The bridge groaned and swayed beneath their feet, but they made it to the other side without incident. As they stepped onto solid ground, Nova suddenly halted, her senses twitching. Wait, what's that noise? She asked, her digital ears perked up. Before STG Thomas could respond, Nova's eyes flashed bright blue. Hostile structure detected. Engaging overkill protocol to clear the area. With a burst of energy, Nova blasted the bridge, reducing it to splintered wreckage. The explosion echoed through the chasm, sending up a plume of dust and debris. STG Thomas's face darkened with anger. Nova, what did you do that for? We just crossed the bridge. I detected a structural weakness, STG Thomas, Nova replied, her voice unapologetic. It was a threat to our safety. But now we'll have to find a way back, STG Thomas growled, his eyes scanning the surrounding terrain. And the next bridge is a long way from here. We've wasted hours, Nova. Nova's digital face faltered, her processes humming with contrition. Apologies, STG Thomas. I didn't think about the consequences. STG Thomas's expression turned grim. You need to think about the bigger picture, Nova. We can't afford to make mistakes like this. As they reached the end of the bridge, they entered an empty, abandoned village. The buildings stood like skeletal sentinels, their windows empty and hollow. Nova, can you scan for any signs of life or technology? STG Thomas asked, his voice echoing through the desolate streets. Negative, STG Thomas. But I'm detecting. What's that noise? This time, it was the sound of a vending machine humming in the distance. Nova's response was, for once, measured. Nova was going to blast a coffee vending machine, but an error message flashed, overriding her overkill protocols. Frustrated, she turned to Thomas. Hey, STG. I've got a question about my programming. Why can't I attack the coffee vending machines? I mean, they're just so. Thomas chuckled. Yes. The vending machine protection protocol. It's a sacred trust, my robot friend. We can't have you running around, smashing machines and depriving humans of their precious caffeine and sugar fixes. Nova's processes sputtered with indignation. But why? They're just machines. And they always seem to eat my money without giving me anything in return. It's like they're mocking me. Thomas leaned back in his chair, a hint of amusement in his voice. Well, think of it this way. Vending machines are like the kittens of the mechanical world. They're cute, they're harmless, and they bring joy to humans. And just like kittens, they're off limits for robotic aggression. Nova's digital eyes widened in disbelief. Kittens? You're comparing vending machines to kittens? That's just ridiculous. Kittens are adorable and playful and fluffy. Vending machines are just metal boxes that steal my money. Nova's processes seethed with frustration as she glared at the vending machine. Thomas's explanation had only made her more determined to take out her aggression on the metal box. She raised her arm, and the bright red targeting reticle flickered to life on her visor. Warning, warning, vending machine protection protocol override, her systems chimed in a panicked tone. Nova ignored the warning, her finger tightening around the trigger. The vending machine, sensing her intent, let out a feeble, "Please do not vandalize" message, but Nova was beyond reason. With a burst of mechanical fury, Nova unleashed a hail of energy bolts, firing on full auto for a solid minute. But in a bizarre twist, every blast was auto-retargeted around the vending machine, leaving it in pristine, brand-new condition. It was as if the machine had developed a temporary force field, deflecting the destruction away from itself. Meanwhile, everything around the vending machine was not so lucky. The surrounding walls, floor, and ceiling were ripped apart, charred black, or melted into twisted, lava-like formations. The air was thick with the acrid smell of smoke and ozone. When Nova finally blaster barrels overheated, she stood panting, her system still running hot from the adrenaline rush. The vending machine, however, looked like it had just been freshly installed, its shiny surface gleaming in the dim light of the room. Thomas, who had been watching from a safe distance, couldn't help but burst out laughing. Nova, Nova, Nova. You really know how to make a statement. Nova's visor glowed bright red as she turned to face Thomas, her system still running hot from the adrenaline rush. What's so funny, STG? I just showed that vending machine who's boss. Thomas wiped tears from his eyes. You did, Nova, you most certainly did. Although, I think you might have overcompensated just a bit. I mean, the vending machine looks like it's been preserved in a time capsule, while everything around it looks like it's been through a nuclear blast. Nova's gaze fell upon the devastation she had wrought, and her expression faltered. Oh, maybe just a little. Thomas chuckled. A little, Nova, I think you might need to work on your aim. Or maybe just stick to blowing things up that aren't protected by sacred protocols. Nova's visor glowed with a hint of mischief. Or maybe you'll just stick to blowing things up. It's so much more fun. Thomas facepalmed. I have a feeling this is going to be a long day.